today we are here with the award-winning MC Barber.
Hey everyone, this is MC Barber. Today here I have a long haircut for you. I have haircut that is called skater's haircut. I will do this haircut with a straight edge razor and I will finish with scissors. So first step here is to totally wet the hair and section it. And first step here for me is now to create the length. So this is my guide. I'm removing the length and the whole haircut will be built from here. This is my first step in cutting. So once I set my length, I take my next section, and this section will be cut vertically, will be taken vertically. And what I do here, first I thin the hair and then I cut it bluntly. So that creates texture, movement, and I remove the length, and I remove the length. So as you can see here, I am thinning the hair and then removing the length. I'm taking about ½ inch wide sections. Combing out straight at 90 degrees, thinning and then cutting. It is important when you're working with razors or scissors for that matter, or clippers, that you work very neatly and that you follow certain steps, that you follow very clean way of cutting, that you know at all time what you are doing and at what point you are. So I started from the center, now finding my guide, and I go the other way, connecting it to the other side. First, I thin the hair, and then I remove the length. The gentleman has very thick hair. The reason I chose the razor is because the razor, with the razor I can thin out the hair, creates the movement and gives me the texture that I want. So you can have that kind of shaggy look. Here I am now taking horizontal sections and picking up the guide from underneath. And still I am removing the weight first and then length. So first I'm thinning the hair and then I remove the length. So here I will show you in a minute here how I follow my guide. So right here I pick up the section, I see my guide right there. I drop my guide so I don't cut it again, and then I cut. So first you drop the guide. Once you see the guide, you drop it, and then you cut the section that you have in your hands. In this haircut we are not removing a lot of length. The gentleman wants to keep it long. We are moving about 1.5 to 2 inches, about 2 inches, but we are creating a lot of texture in the hair. So as you see, by lifting the hair up, I drop my as I move my hand up, I drop my guide, and then I cut the section that I have in my fingers. Razor cutting used to be very popular in the 70s and the 80s. I was very fortunate to work with old-timers from 70s and 80s who were actually the champions in men's hairstyling, such as Andrea Turrisi and Peter Labella. Andrea Turrisi was actually world champion in 1984, and I was fortunate enough to work with them, take classes from them, and to learn actually how to do razor cuts. This is very exciting. I really have a lot of fun when I do these haircuts. I enjoy these haircuts, especially these days when we work with clippers all the time. When we do get a client like this that wants a razor cut, long hair, it is almost like a treat. So as you see here, I start at about 2 fingers linked away from the roots, and I start thinning the hair, and then when I get towards the end, I do remove the length at the desired level. Now once that is done, now I go with the scissors and I just take the ends that are sticking out. If I missed something, as you can see here, or there, you want to make sure that you don't cut too deep, so you don't want to remove the razor cut. You want to keep the razor cut, but you just want to remove hair here or there that is sticking out. So as you can see, the result of the cut, of the razor cut, the hair is really gives that beautiful texture that you can have nice shaggy looking, that 70s cut. Now here on the front, I'm gonna thin his bangs and trim them down a little bit, but I don't want to use classic scissor technique. I want to do what I call a backhand sliding technique, which it does remove the length but also creates the texture. We don't want to have that hard line, we want to have kind of soft bangs that will complement the rest of the haircut. So I'm cutting actually as I'm moving in. My blades open and close as when they come out they open, when they go in they close. So that's how I end up cutting right there. As they move in, they close, they cut. I think we are pretty good there. We have one section there that is slightly long. By over directing, the hair goes from short to long. And there it is. I'm using a vent brush for this style. The reason I chose vent brush because the hair gets through easier because the hair is very long. And I start from the back as usually. and it's a lot easier to work with a vent brush when you work with a long hair. Working with the young ones, it's always challenging. You have to be patient. Now here we are, what I'm doing, I'm almost wrapping the hair around his head. What this does, it kind of creates volume at the root area, kind of lifts the hair up. So I go from one side, I go one way first, then I go back the other way. And by then the hair is usually dry, and it kind of lifts the root, so it gives you kind of volume in the style. Not in a particular place, but rather throughout the whole head, so you don't have a flat looking haircut. So now that we have some volume, nice texture, looking very nice. You can see it's very soft haircut. Again, we call this haircut skater's cut. This is the hair that we cut in this haircut. We actually removed quite a lot of hair, even though haircut still looks very long. But you can see on the back how it's nice and short now. Now applying the product, I go over the hair, really trying to get that product throughout the whole hair. So I start from the back and go to each side. Since my hands are full of product, now when I go from here towards the front, it will kind of spread it evenly. That's where his hair is the thickest anyway. And then I move on the front and try to style his hair. For the product on this hairstyle, I use Natural Matte Cream by Layrai. It's a matte finish. It has a medium hold. I really don't need much hold in this haircut. The haircut will stay as it is, especially with the blow drying. But I just want some texture to be created. You know, some separation, as you can see now in the style. So there it is. That's your final cut. It's very nice, soft haircut. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Hey, this is MC Barber. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked my video, please subscribe. Even if you didn't like my video, subscribe anyway. I have many more coming. mcbarber.com is my website. Until next time, work hard, stay positive, and take care of yourself.